been a guiding lamp for you?
I will just say, if I'd have God last year, like last year was crazy. Like I went through I went through some personal things, like relationship wise. And in the midst of all that, I was like training for my pro card. I was doing all these things. And I remember like just staying in prayer. Like,
Awesome, everybody. Welcome back to the CVMK show, where we're back again because it is what it is. You listen to the hottest podcast on the planet. You know why? Because I'm the hottest podcast guest. Look, I want y'all to connect with me everywhere. And I do mean everywhere. Thanks to you, we have finally crossed over. We're at some milestones, right? 15K on the YouTube channel, almost 80 on the Instagram. But y'all hit us up, CVMK Global. It is what it is _show. CVMK 33, where it goes down. CVMK Global, all platforms, TikTok, Fanbase, Snapchat, Lemonade, wherever you can find it, CVMK, you will find us there. I have an amazing guest, an amazing leader, somebody who is beyond fitness. I mean, from doing it on stage as a competitor to being a director in tech, Shannon Burge does it all. And we have her here on this show because this is the greatest show on the planet. But if you want to keep seeing leaders like we have on today, you know what you got to do. I need you to tell your mama, your pastor, your baby mama, all the above about where you heard this. Go to YouTube, CVMK, hit like, share, and subscribe. And this will encourage us to keep going because that's how we do it. We go on what you allow us to do. When we return, we'll be back with the one, the only Shannon after this. Shannon, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm excited. First of all, thank you so much for being on here. I am more than elated. I say anytime you reach out to anybody, you just never know, and it's always weird. It's like, but man, I really appreciate you being here. I'm super excited to listen to your story and be inspired by you and see kind of what got you to this point and what's driving you to keep going forward. So I want to get into it, right? Why? I mean, you could, I start this with everybody. You could have been, I don't know. You could have been, you are. I was going to say a director of tech, but you are. I was like, you are. That's got to kill my question right there. But what I think is you could literally be at home eating a Big Mac, enjoying the weight gain of it all, and just totally living in the moment, but you chose this path. What made you do it?
Yes. So what made me choose this path? So I want to start by saying fitness is a journey. And I always try to make sure that clients I work with or anybody I'm connected with, that they remember that fitness is truly a journey. What got me into fitness, I've always been a very active person. I ran track in college. And have just always been an active person. So I think being healthy or being fit is something that's just always been a part of my family dynamic. My sister's also an IFBB Pro, like the whole family and my brother. Like, so everybody's like, it's kind of funny. Like we definitely are a fit family, but I'd say I got into actual bodybuilding specifically because an employee I was literally in retail at the time, and he had a coach and he's like, yeah, I remember you saying that you potentially wanted to do a fitness show. You should really chat with his wife. And I mean, I guess the rest is history because I went there and what was supposed to be 9-month prep went into a 4-month prep and I was on stage. It was like, when you've been an athlete, I think bodybuilding is a little bit more seamless in terms of like transition, especially running track because you're working the whole body. So competed, did well, did that show and then did another one 4 months later, then went to nationals and did well, got top 5. And then I took like 6 years off and I was like, yeah, pump the brakes on bodybuilding, still stayed active, still had my fitness business, still partnered with different nonprofits and did fitness programs. And so, and then my brother wanted to compete during COVID. I got back on stage, competed, took 3 more years off from the stage. And last year just went all in. My sister and I did 3 shows, and the end result, we got our pro cards together in December last year. So I don't think fitness has never not been a part of my journey, but I always say fitness is truly a journey because I haven't competed all of that time, but I've kept myself healthy, right? And still put my health first. But I always say it's a journey because you'll go in lows. I won't always be in competition mode. I'm not in competition mode. I'm in bulking season, enjoying this year. But it's something that I think keeps you grounded and taking care of yourself, taking care of others. And it truly is some intimate time when you're in the gym and just doing those things, and working towards a goal. Because I would definitely say I'm definitely competitive. So yeah, I didn't compete to like just be mediocre. I'm like, we got to get this pro card.
Competing to win. Well, first of all, congratulations on getting a pro card. That is huge. I don't have that testimony. None of my family was this super athletic, just gene pool. I always say like I was blessed with church genes. So I can sit in long services, and then hoop behind a B3 organ, but I don't know, that I had to come to it. It's crazy. Like I got into fitness almost, I won't say backwards, but graduated already, out of college, was married, my health kind of took a real plunge, and I was like, I got to do something. So my wife, like, I can't be this big, like I was getting like Big Punish, and I was like, I can't be Big Punish, I'm already light, I don't need to add that, what I'm saying? But like it was this reckoning like call. And then the funny part is after I had surgery, I had a real, really major back surgery, and the rehab was crazy, right? And I would go to GNC, I'd buy all these things, and my wife's like, you know more about what goes into products, supplementation. Why don't you just create this thing? And I was like, who would buy from me? I'm never, I don't stand on stage. I don't have the stage visit. Like I wasn't even thinking that. And lo and behold, 6 years later, here we are. So, like that's what's got it. It's weird. It's like from tragedy to triumph. But
that's how I think that's how it happens. I will say I was fit, but I don't think I was thinking about training people. How I ended up becoming an actual coach was a different storyline, because I had competed and I was always doing a lot of volunteer work. I love helping people. I love the community. And so I was doing volunteer work and partnering with the nonprofit. And I remember them asking me after I competed, like, hey, can you teach some fitness programs for the parents that are waiting? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't want to do this. No, like, what are they talking about? Like, I don't want to, this is not my thing. Yeah. Well, it clearly was my thing because I created this program. And by the end of it, there was like 60 people coming to these classes. And then it took off. I started partnering with like the Boys and Girls Club, like the Struggle of Love Foundation was the first nonprofit I partnered with, but literally 16 Ways Foundation, all these nonprofits in the Denver area. And so it's just how your gifts, right? When you start walking in your purpose, like things whether you see it, it's already happened. It's already in the works. So yeah, I fell into like actually being a coach and training people and having my nonprofit. That was definitely not the goal. Like it wasn't something I was even thinking about. So
we know, okay, so you started this not-for-profit, and then this coaching kind of came about. How did you know like this is where I'm gifted at? Because I think a lot of people, like I have a trainer, right? Like it's my homie. Like, well, he competes. He's actually about to compete in the NPC. Like he's there. But I myself, like God has not called me to that. Because first of all, my tolerance level. Yo, check it out. I found some new sunglasses, changing the game. I'm telling you, got to take a look at this. By Firmoo. The name threw me off at first, not gonna lie. But looking at it, this is a game changer. These glasses made my IQ go up 50 points. Was this, short. And it's hard to, I would say finding a good coach is like finding a good pastor. If you find one, and they are there, so there's not a slight, but you got to hold on to them, right? Because they're rare, they're committed, they care more about you as a person and your development than gain. But I think kind of what's happening is that monetization is such a drug that it takes away from the sincerity of coaching. So you as a coach, like, what do people get when they get Shannon?
Well, I think one thing about me is that I practice what I preach. I've always been a very transparent person. I think that, it is a calling, and really my job that I have, right? I've coached many, teams. I've started, like, my recent role, I actually started from scratch, was relocated to Dallas to stand up a new segment to the business. And I work for a Fortune 500 tech company. So, I mean, I think I do what I do in corporate. It's almost like the same thing. In corporate, I've inspired and motivated a number of people and been able to get a number of people promoted and do some really great things and impact to the business. And then I always say on the fitness side is people watch my journey, right? So I think that within itself, it's not like I'm some random person trying to get people to sign up, did this show, and it's now like, oh, I'm a trainer. Many people will be in my inbox like, I've watched your journey. You practice what you preach. I see you at the gym. You're a good person, right? So I think for me, ultimately, it comes down to I care about the person's transforming inside as well as the outside, because that part is so important. So, and I'm very specific about even the clients I take on. I don't aspire to have every client, because the clients I want to ensure that I'm able to make a difference and an impact, and that they walk away, feeling like that they've transformed, right? So like when they get me, it's not just like, oh, we're going to be working out. I actually have a cohort that's going to start in January. I only do 4 cohorts a year for No Defeat Warriors. Because like I said, I'm very intentional. Yes, of course, it's, being in fitness is definitely you can do very well in terms of the financial impact. But to me, if you actually get quality clients and do a quality job, I want quality over the number of people that I'm like. I do feel like with my nonprofit and with the fitness business, I'll be able to reach millions of people. But I think in terms of the fitness business, I really am very particular. So I only want to take on so many people each year, and they're getting like mindset, they're getting a community, they're getting the app where it's got their workouts, they're getting a live fitness class with me that I do virtual, because I have clients all over the US, and I travel a lot, so that way they get to really, it's kind of tailored for female professionals on the go, like kind of like myself, right? Or busy moms, or female professional executives, like people like myself, because I get that a lot of, how are you able to do all these things? They know I have a fitness business. They know I have a nonprofit. I'm in a doctoral program right now. Yeah. So I have investment.
Yeah, I'm achieving.
I like I said, I think the biggest thing you can be as a trainer is be transparent, practice what you preach, and really seek to transform your client. Because I always tell people, I don't seek to have clients forever. My goal is to transform you so that you're able, like, once you transform internally and really got the habits down, you should be able to do well on your own. I guess for me, I just have never understood, like, it doesn't make sense to me. If you want to train with me after the program, like here and there, great. But you should be transforming, like, at the end of the day, internally and externally. We should be able to see visible change as well as internal change. And like my last thing I'll say on this piece, my last program I did last year, I had 13 women. They lost close to 200 pounds combined. 3 got off high blood pressure medication. 1 changed their whole profession. That's the type of things I'm trying to do. I want people literally transforming, not like, hey, we lost a few pounds and then we gained it back, or, we're still not, we did the diet, but, really I haven't changed any of my habits. I'm not really transformed. I don't want that to be the case. And so, yeah, that's what they get when they get me.
I like it. I think the biggest thing I took away was cohort. I know what cohort means. I have my master's. What I'm saying? I got my MBA, but you don't hear it in fitness. Nobody says the word cohort. Hey, that's what's up. Look, we're gonna take a quick break. When we return, obviously we're back with one of the only Shannon Burge. I want to get into that transparency thing, because we're going to talk about the not so cool stuff, the dark moments, the low moments, the like, man, I wish somebody would moments, because fitness and life, right? They go hand in hand, right? And sometimes you find yourself in the valley. After a quick word from my sponsor, we'll be back with the one, the only, Shannon.
There's a hero in all of us waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is just that one last push. Activate the hero within with CVMK Global Supplements. All natural, steroid free, designed to enhance performance, build muscle, and increase energy. You are unstoppable. You can do this. Become your own hero at www.cvmkglobal.store.
All right, y'all. Y'all know I'm dedicated for y'all, and I'm trying to build the new Nike, right? So we got one of our pre-workouts with us, obviously Warrior Thirst, the one that I use during the summertime. Summer's over, so I've been using my superpower because I need the energy. I have to do a lot, and it takes a lot to do this. And on top of that, you know, ministry stuff. So I need all the caffeine I can get, right? I want you to go to www.cvmkglobal.store, and I want y'all to connect with us on social media, man. The cool thing is you don't even got to buy anything. Just connect with us. Let us know. Like some of the posts and whatnot. I want to see you there, but I want to see you try it. I got a discount for you because I want you to improve. www.cvmkglobal.store. All right, so transparency is a lot, right? Like, I think, and you said it a couple times, I want people to get what they see, right? They see what they get. Like, it's this authentic pull, this gravitational lure that is truly real. But authenticity comes with some sobering moments. Mm-hmm. Even when I, look at, the advertisement piece that was just displayed, and I think about how I've gotten to this point, where I'm trying to go, I've had some really good success, and I've had some days I was like, what the heck was I thinking? Why didn't I just stay, under the radar? Like, why? No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Look, first of all, creating a company is difficult, but giving up to sacrificing the comfort of, what would I say? A flow. And what I mean by that, like, the comfort of corporate, right? Like, I know what it's like to work for, an overseas tech company. I worked for a couple. I know what it's like to lead one. I worked for an Australian company that pioneered and sold what is now known as ChatGPT. I know what it's like to kind of be in that vein. And I know what it's like to be part of the founding core and be part of the seed founding and all that and go through everything. And I know what it's like to, instead of, I won't say playing it safe, but realizing like some people pray for this and you have something else in mind that's different. And that difference can really create disturbance, right? So for you, we know you're in the doctoral program. You're doing your thing. I've been to your websites. You're blowing it up. You got 2 websites. Most people only have one or half a website, which is most of a landing page. But this is a full. I've been to both. I'm like, this is 2 complete. I thought it was a typo when you sent it. I was like, how would you send me this twice? But it's too legit and it's distinctive. It's not like it's the same. It's distinctive. We see you on social media, and some shit I might say, you've already made it. Like what are the stories that they don't know to get to this point that is keeping you going?
Yeah, well, you said a lot, because I'm actually going through that, right? Like, I think first off, I'll say my family keeps me going. I think I have I call it the circle of excellence. I feel like I have a second to none support system. So I do think that that's very important. I am a believer. I think anybody that knows me or follows me, I'm very open about being a Christian. I'm very open about posting scriptures. And I think that because of my faith and always leading with the heart of gratitude, it has really allowed me to be blessed in so many ways. But my family and my faith keeps me going. And when people say you've made it, I think you have to think about, what does that mean though? Right? Because you said, like, right now, yeah, I'm a director in tech. I'm doing well in my businesses. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I'm fulfilling, what I'm supposed to be doing and walking fully in my purpose. That's why I'm actually going to be transitioning from corporate next year is my plan, which is crazy. Like, I literally had some people that were like, you've lost your mind. You do very well corporately. Like, why would you ever do that? But I just think to like you said, like, it's one of those things that you can feel that you've made it, but really, are you fully fulfilled? And I think that that's always very important. And I know I'm most fulfilled helping people at the fullest capacity. And that's in help, like, because it's not like work for me, training with people or doing my nonprofit stuff. It's not like work. It doesn't feel like work. But what I would tell people though, when you are feeling low, you have to be reminded of, your why. I mean, your why is what's going to keep you going at the end of the day, whether it's maybe you do want to be an IFBB Pro, right? And there's people that have been doing show after show after show. It's like, your why of why you even want to be a pro you have to be reminded of that. And you have to also make sure you're surrounded around people who are on board with what you want to do, right? Whether it may seem like a crazy leap of faith or day to day, but like, you just have to be surrounded by people that remind you, like, you've got the support, but you have to know what you want and be okay with those moments of feeling uncertain about what's happening.
I like it. I think that knowing the why behind it and your tribe being a place of comfort, a place of protection from the outside noise a lot of the times. You mentioned something that I think is utterly important, and I don't think that society as a whole, but definitely even in the church, we don't value what I would say the true power of faith is when I'm outside of the church context and I need Jesus to be real, right? Like, that to me is the driver. How has that how has that relationship with Christ been a guiding lamp for you?
I will just say, if I have God last year, like last year was crazy. Like, I went through I went through some personal things, like relationship wise. And in the midst of all that, I was like training for my pro card. I was doing all these things. And I remember like just staying in prayer, like doing my 2-a-day cardios and all this. It was like, my mom was like, I literally don't know how you did it, because in last year, which was probably like one of my hardest years when I think of personally, I got my pro card. I purchased another investment property. I launched the nonprofit. But I think all those things were done because God was at the forefront. I journaled every single day. I started out my day with a list of at least 10 things, which that list just started overflowing of what I was grateful for. But I think God is always there for you, and you have to be reminded of that no matter what is happening. He's always there. So I can't stress enough how my relationship with God is like, it's kept me grounded. It's kept me going. It's kept me reminded you're not alone in this journey. And also relieving the pressure. I think when people talk about like being stressed and having anxiety and all this, and that's because they can't lay their burdens down. Like, you were truly supposed to not walk in fear. We're supposed to like trust God. And it seems so hard. Like, people will be like, you just said, like, you're like, I go to church, I'm a Christian, all this, but it's like when your faith is being tested, like, you're supposed to walk by faith, not by sight. You're not supposed to walk in fear. All these things. And so I feel like last year, a lot of that was tested. And when you're tested the most, that's when you need to stay in the word. Like, I think that was a differentiator. Like, I just stayed focused. I stayed reminded that like, I'm not alone. And the journaling really helped, and showing gratitude. And like I said, staying in the word, but you have to do that even more. So I feel like when you're being challenged, don't pull away from God, run to him, I think is the best advice I can give.
I like it. When you're being challenged, don't run away. run towards them. I got one more before we take a break. Let's talk about the nuanceness of it all. You know, when I don't know how old you are, but I got some years on me now. You know, I remember Bobby Brown performing on Arsenio Hall. Like, I'm in my mid-30s now, and you know, I remember in high school when it wasn't the first pre-workout, but it was the first commercialized, I feel like, pre-workout. I remember when BSN came out with NO Explode, and Ronnie Coleman was on the cover. I remember Ronnie. I remember Jay. I remember who Jay Cutler was sponsored by, and it was the battle between Ronnie and Jay, like, every year, you know. And the gym was still kind of traditional. What I mean by that, it was predominantly men. It wasn't focused on special types of diets and whatnot. It was just kind of a He-Man world, I guess, best way to put it. Fast forward 20 years, 20 plus years, but 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. That sounds about right. I'm not quite 40, but yeah, 20 years. I had to think about that. Like, wait a minute, how old am I? You know, fast forward, and the gym has changed. I would say the demographics, I would say are 50-50. I wouldn't say anybody has a man. I would think that is just as many women as men. Yeah. But that's not the biggest thing that has changed. It's the social media. I can't get to a station because somebody's on their phone or they're taking photos of themselves. It's that has shifted everything, right? Yeah. So I feel like there's two types of people that
I do too.
Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. That come to the gym workout.
Where you're going?
Yeah. There's I'm really doing this. I'm trying to get better. I'm focused. I'm not saying, you know, they're perfect, but I'm really focused. You have that person. Mm-hmm. And then you have I'm trying to be Insta famous person. And it's not a judgment call, but there's definitely a character difference, right?
Right.
What keeps you from going towards the latter? Because Shannon, you got enough followers, you can be like, look, if I just want to take selfies all day and monetize the heck out of this, you really could.
Yeah, I think if I'm being transparent, I think that I've always like been in the fitness. Like, anybody looks at my page, right? You can see I transform. I'll go on a bulk season. I'll lean, then I'll compete and all this stuff. But I guess for me, it's like it almost was overwhelming for me when I started to get so many followers. Like, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, like I gotta, you know, produce content because I don't care. When I go to the gym, I look crazy. Like, I just got from work, so the only thing I switched my tank top, but I had a work shirt on, right? I still even got my work earrings in, but I don't go to look cute. Like, if you even look at my page and the actual me and workouts, I'm not looking cute. I'm like, well, I don't think so. I'm like, I'm turning up. I'm there to work out. And so I think for me, how I've had to evolve and make it work, because social media it's like you have to adapt. First off, I'm in tech, but for two, people are on there, right? Potential clients, things of that nature. So for me, like next month, I'm flying to Denver. I lived in Denver for 10 years. They're going to create a lot of content. Like, I'm going to be doing a lot of workouts for the launch of my next program. So for me, I'm just very intentional. Like, if I do need content and I'm about to launch something, then perfect, I'll do that. But I just don't desire to be in the gym, like record. I don't like, and I wish I did. Like, I could probably record. I just don't. Like, I'll try to record, and then I'm like, no, I just can't do it. So it's just not my thing. I don't knock the people that do, but like you just said, like for me, that it really can be, let's say, challenging when I'm trying to get on a machine and turn up and go home so I can go do other things, and somebody's on there with their whole tripod set up and doing and going back and forth, and I'm like, this is a gym. Like, I'm here to work out. So I do think that it has been quite a time, but for me, I just bounce it out. If it's something I need for content because I'm launching my program, I will do it. Let's go, let's roll. And there's a place and time for it. If I have a shoot with a photographer, then I do it. But it's not something that I'm overly big about doing in the gym unless it's intentional and I'm trying to teach somebody a workout, right? It's in use of my business. So yeah, that's kind of my thought.
That makes sense. Nah, trust me, because sometimes I'll just be like, man, can you please, I'm not trying to say you don't even have a great body. Can you just please move so I can get? But at the same time, I feel like a hypocrite because I'm like, this is what I do. I'm recording it, but I do it when nobody's there. I put it at the perfect time, not during peak time.
No, we're not on board with that. So yes, I think you're fine with what you say.
That'll work. All right, look, we're going to take a quick break. We get back. We're going to discuss sound advice versus gimmicks, but also, we're going to talk about, how do we shift a mindset? How do we shift a culture? I think that, health is wealth. I think fitness is absolutely vital. Unfortunately, for a lot of different reasons, people don't do it. And we're going to tackle those reasons because it goes here on It Is What It Is, because it's a CVMK show, right? When we return, the one, the only Shannon after this.
I literally just tried the best pre-workout on the planet. With Superpower pre-workout, you have increased focus and a power boost every single time you work out. It's not only packed with 225 milligrams of caffeine, but it also has citrulline and creatine. It's insane how much energy and focus I had during my workouts. If you're ready to take your workouts to the next level, then ditch your current pre-workout and get the Superpower pre-workout to be your own hero.
Y'all. www.cvmkglobal.store. I'm telling you, .store. You're not going to go wrong. Matter of fact, you know why I know you're not going to go wrong? Because how many CEOs do you know will give you your own money back if you don't like it? So, you know me. I tell you all the time, you don't know C4. You might know The Rock. You don't know that, But nah, I'm just joking. But y'all go to www. I like The Rock. I always come out of every episode because I want the smoke. I'm not gonna lie. But www.cvmkglobal.store. All right, so I think there are a lot of voices. The beautiful part about technology and social media, podcasts, and whatever format that it conveys itself on, it amplifies voices. That's the cool part. The not so cool part is that because there's no vetting, there's no filter over which voices should be heard or not heard, it can create distorted truth. And distorted truth or distortion as a whole sells. It's marketable. I'm not even going to be self-righteous on here. Sometimes clickbait, saying wildest stuff. My wife, I call her the queen of rules. She'll just be in bed and all of a sudden I hear a video say, do these, and then she's like, babe. I'll be like, babe, come on, that's the competition. Stop showing me the op, so but in the reality is noise is noise, right? And what works, what doesn't work. I want to get into what's keeping us from going forward. All right. I know we got 10 minutes left and I want to, take these 10 minutes, and I appreciate your time once again.
My pleasure.
You and I, is that grammatically correct? You and I, yes. You and I come from, we are part of a faith-based community, but if we be honest, that faith is kind of the antithesis to what we do, right? Like I'm not a competitor. I just partner with a lot of competitors. I have one going to the NPC. I myself get criticized, but this is the thing that God has given us.
Yeah.
Why is it such a struggle to get people to do the hard work?
I think it comes down to mindset. It really does. It's what you tell yourself. When I think about all the things I've accomplished, it all came down to the mindset. It was what I told myself I could do, and I leaned in and did it. And I think that if your mindset is not there, and right, I'm not, I'm very, like I said, I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and that has really helped keep me grounded and obedient and disciplined. But I do think no matter who it is, your mindset has got to be strong, because that, I think, is when people make excuses, right? If you're not working out, you're not putting your health first, quite frankly, you're making an excuse. You're not making the time, you're not making it a priority, and you're telling yourself, oh, I don't have time, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, versus being mentally strong and saying, you know what, it's not really an option. If you start to train your mind to think that way, that it's not an option, then you'll make it a priority. And I also think that there's so many things surrounding us that are making it easy or appear easy to get in shape or not have to do the work, right? Nothing knocking people who get surgeries or whatever, but there's so many things in the media that make people say, hey, I want a quick fix. But the quick fixes do not change your mindset. They don't change your habits. They are short-term fixes. So I think at the root of all of it, it comes down to someone's mindset, whether they're going to get healthy or whether they don't or do. Whether they do, literally, it comes down to the mindset that the person has.
I agree. It's mindset. All right. Rapid fire questions. So I'm going to get you out of here. This isn't a rapid fire. This was the one before. I forgot to get to these questions. Are trainers more interested in monetization than helping?
Some are. I mean, for me, it truly is helping people, because I wouldn't be living a very lucrative corporate position. Like, I'm an executive for what, I'm doing well financially. So I'm passionate about it, but I think that bleeds through. So like, what I would say is temporary success is based on those who want to just monetize, or your legacy. Like, I feel like your legacy, or really you doing well in the world and making an impact. If you're doing it because you're passionate and want to help someone, to me, the longevity will be there and stuff will just flow to you. If you're doing it based on the money, either the happiness of what you're even doing, like the joy will be different. You're doing it for the wrong reasons if it's just for the money. So I think when you think about legacy and longevity and all those things, and really whether you made an impact on the world, if you're doing it because you're passionate about it and you want to do it and help people, that will show. I mean, quite frankly, it will show through your work. It will show through the commitment that you have for your clients. They can tell the difference.
There you go. All right, rapid fire time. Some unserious questions, but we got to know. We're going to start off with something simple. Drake or Kendrick?
Kendrick. I went to one of his concerts last year. He's phenomenal.
All right. Sade or Tim's?
Sade.
All right. Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
If it's cheat day, is it Chinese food or McDonald's?
Oh, Chinese. I don't like McDonald's, so
man. Hey, just if McDonald's ever listens, I just want to say that I have no beef.
Oh,
no, you're fine. No, you're fine.
I love the fries, but that's about it. Can't do the other things. No.
All right, and the last one. Deadlifts or squats?
Deadlifts.
Wow. I thought you were going to say squats.
I usually do walking squats backward, because I ran track in college, so my knees, I always try to be very mindful of my knees. So like if you do walking lunges and things of that, you can still get the effects. I just have to be very careful when I do squats. So yeah, they're not my thing.
I like it. Y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Shannon, thank you so much for being on here. Shannon, if they want to connect you, I know you have cohorts. You're an advanced, trainer. You don't just have group classes. You have cohorts. You have academically focused groups. Where can they connect with you? Where can they follow you?
Yes. So thank you for asking. So I do have two websites, but one is for my nonprofit and one is for my fitness business. So the one for my fitness business is www.nodefeat.co. And for my nonprofit is www.nodefeatwarrior.com. And Instagram, you can find me at Shannon, my first name _Burge. Same thing for Facebook. But yeah, I would love for you to connect. And I can't thank you enough for having me. I really appreciate it.
Shannon's been my pleasure. Y'all, connect with her. Connect. Go to both websites. Both websites are distinct. I'm telling you, it is not a trick. These things are real websites. Nobody just did this on their spare time. Amazing person that, first of all, is committed not only to your health goals, but as somebody who has invested in themselves and wants to see you win, and is more interested in your winning than the profit or transacting some good from you, that's who you need to connect with. And if you want to keep seeing leaders like we have on today, you know what you got to do. YouTube, one word, 4 letters, CVMK. It is what it is _show on the gram, CVMK Global on the gram, CVMK Globe, TikTok, CVMK Global, Snapchat, fan base, CVMK. It's CVMK Global basically everywhere. And the podcast website that is out that I got to shorten because I couldn't get my CVMK Global. So I'm, it's like CVMK, like it's something stupid. So I don't even say it, but it's in the link. It's in the link. It's going to be in the link. But I want y'all to go to where the best supplements are, y'all. www.cvmkglobal.store. And until next time, guys.
If you think exercise alone got me looking like this, well, think again. CVMK Global Super Thick got me right. I'm obsessed, and yeah, I won't stop talking about it because it helped me grow in all the right places. Its creatine provides a fast and reliable way to increase your power, size, and shape, and it's scientifically proven to help you reach your physical goals in a safe, controlled manner. So if you want to increase muscle size, pump, and thickness in your muscle groups, you need Super Thick.